Have you ever wondered how artists and music producers get their music on TV shows, films, and ads? I can tell you right now, it is not luck, it is a strategy. And I'm going to give you that 5-step strategy right here. But be sure to stick around for number 5 because number 5 is by far the most important. So if you've been following me lately, you know that I am on a journey. I'm Jason Dowdy, and I'm on a journey to leave my 9 to 5 and do music full time. If you want to follow that, just follow the hashtag no9to5 by 2028, and you can watch all of that unfold. So far, I've had 65 placements. I've had them on TV shows like NBC, Dateline NBC, The Today Show, Top Chef VIP, one called El Conde, right? A lot of different shows so far, and I'm going to show you the strategy that I use. So some of you might be asking, what is sync licensing? Well, I am glad I pretended that you asked. Sync licensing, simply put, is when your music is synced to picture, meaning it's synchronized to the picture. It's used in TV, film, ads, video games, streaming. You think of it, there's much more of a demand now for sync music than ever before, because think about it, way back in the day, you probably only had 3 channels, right? And then cable came along and you had more like 40 to 50 channels. Now think about all of the different apps, podcasts, video games, different types of media, and all of the different streaming options there are out there. The demand is higher than ever. So if you are a music creator, it is time to get involved. I just want to dispel any common misconceptions. So number 1, you do not need a record deal to get into sync music. You don't need to go viral. You don't need to build an audience. You don't need anything like that, right? You don't need to be a marketing expert to get into sync licensing. All you have to do is make sure that your music fits a certain scene, is easy for a music supervisor to make edit points and cuts, and it evokes some kind of emotion. So it's less about your brand and it's more about your sound, right? Okay, so thank you for being patient, sticking with me for those top 5 steps. Number 1, make sure that your music is sync ready. So that includes when you create your piece of music, don't just start your creation process by doing whatever you want. Oh, this sounds cool. That sounds cool, right? Make sure you have a purpose for your music, and I would highly suggest that you use a reference track. You can go on sites like apm.music or apmmusic.com. If you go there, you'll see an entire music library. Warner Chappell has a similar library. Go look at what's in music libraries right now, what the music supervisors are looking at to choose music. Pay attention to the formatting, right? They have clear edit points, so you could start it at any moment, meaning you could start with a verse, you could start with a chorus. It has something called a sting ending, so you got to make sure that it's structured right, and you got to make sure it fits the mood, and use a reference track, especially in the beginning. Number 2, build a small catalog. So you probably have music sitting on your hard drive that might work. You may want to format it a certain way, but start with that, or start with just a playlist in mind, right? I want to make 5 to 10 tracks that are perfect for blank, perfect for sports scene, perfect for building tension, being ambient, lo-fi, whatever it is. If it sets a mood and it's right for a scene, then go ahead and make that playlist of 5 to 10 tracks that are in that same vein. Number 3, sign with a music library, especially in the beginning. They publish your catalog, they keep track of your catalog, they help you with meta tagging, they have relationships with music supervisors, so you don't have to pitch directly to a music supervisor, they can do that for you. In exchange, they take a percentage, or they take sometimes it's 100% of the publishing, and then you keep 100% of the writer's share of the back-end royalties. Sometimes you can get an upfront sync fee. It all has to do with how much experience you have, what type of relationships you build, and the deals that they're offering. But I would say if you are starting out, sign with a music library. So start there. Number 4, you want to tag, organize, and submit your stuff properly. So I use a tool called disco.ac. And it's pretty much industry standard from what I can tell in the sync world. It seems like most people use Disco or something called Reels Crafters as well. But you can go in there and you can set your metadata. Now, what am I talking about when I say metadata? tags that identifies your music, what it's used for, the genre, the style, the time period, all of those types of things. You want your piece of music to have as rich a catalog of metadata as possible, description, all of that. So if a music supervisor is looking for, like for me, I create a lot of ambient tension stuff for crime shows. So I put things like, crime and mysterious and all of those types of words in there. So if a music supervisor is looking for that, they can find it. All right. Now I promised number 5 was going to be the important one. This is by far the most important part of all of this, is be consistent. So for example, I'm going to use bamboo as a little bit of a metaphor here. So when you plant bamboo, you don't see any bamboo sprouts for 4 years. But what it's doing underneath is you're planting those seeds. It's going, it's going into the ground, it's drinking in the water, and it's growing this intricate root system. So it's creating this entire root system to make sure that it's able to support those sprouts when they do sprout up. But when they do sprout up, it's like 4 to 6 feet in like a week. Like it happens that fast. So it's very similar with sync licensing. You're not going to see results for a long time. You're just going to be putting your head down, creating music, listening to referenced tracks, really getting your formatting down, your style down. You're trying to figure out ways to fit into different scenes, make sure that your music has a purpose and that purpose is clear, meta tags, creating a playlist. Then you're going to reach out to all of the music libraries. You're going to get a lot of no's. You're going to get occasional yes, right? And then you just need to make sure that you deliver when you do that. And even after all of that and you deliver, you're still just building a root system. Nothing has actually been placed yet. And then you're going to get like 1 or 2 little placements here and there. But if you just keep doing it on a daily basis, what you're doing is you're building this entire catalog. Think of it as building property, because that's what it is, intellectual property. So build and build and build, and eventually all of those seeds that you're planting are just going to start reaping all of those rewards. So be consistent, do it every day, but keep in mind it is a long game. You are giving your future self a gift by putting in the work. All right, now, what do music supervisors want? They want emotionally clear tracks. Make sure that when you listen to your track, it immediately evokes a type of emotion that you want to convey. Make sure there's no copyright issues, so do not use samples. Be on the safe side, just don't use any samples, period, in the beginning. There are ways you can get around it, but I'm not going to go into that into this video. Do instrumentals, do alternate versions if you're an artist, right? Make sure you have a clean version, a dirty version. Keep your lyrics generic that could fit into a lot of different situations, and make sure you have a fast turnaround. If you do get in touch with a music supervisor or a music library, make sure that your turnaround time is fast, and if it can't be fast, communicate that. Big mistake that a lot of artists make is waiting for it to be perfect, right? There is a trap you can get into just doing research, thinking it's not good enough. You're going to stop yourself. Just start doing it. Start making music, start pitching music. It may not be the best music you ever make, but you will get there eventually. You might as well start growing relationships and get out there and try. Or sometimes you'll think that if you made one placement, you've already made it. You can't give up. You got to keep planting those seeds. Sync is volume plus consistency. Build that catalog and build it every day. So how did I learn all of this? I joined a community called and I love it when I pretend that you ask me a question. How did I learn all of this? You didn't ask that. Maybe you did in your head, so I'm going to answer that anyway. I joined a community called the Sync Producer Hub. It's run by Anthony Clint Jr., who's had a lot more success than me in sync. Like I said, I've had 65, placements so far. I don't even know how many thousands of placements he's had, but he's created this community. It has courses, feedback, real opportunities. I followed the roadmap, and that's how I got there. If you want to do the same thing, if you are serious about getting your music into TV, film, video games, streaming, all of that kind of stuff, I highly suggest that you join the Sync Producer Hub. I'm there every day. There's a link in the description, so if you want to just go there and check it out, you can read all about it there. Finally, follow me here on YouTube. So link, subscribe, like, all of those things helps a lot. If you want to learn more about music production, I do have some free courses on FL Studio, so if that is your DAW of choice, feel free to use that. Like I mentioned before, you can use the hashtag No9to5 by 2028 if you want to watch me leave my 9 to 5 and do music full time. So, do you want your music on TV too? Comment sync in the comments. Just comment the word sync, SYNC, and I will send you that link, or it's right there in the description. But like I said before, you do not want to wait until it's perfect. You want to hop into it today. Let's go.